When I'm way down in my options and the market's bleeding out, do I think about going broke or do I stop and figure it out? Hopefully, we're going to figure it out because right now we're going downtown to Chinatown. What walks downstairs, a loner in pairs, and looks like my option trades. Okay, where are we here? We're downtown to Chinatown right now, down over $16,000 today. Okay. And it is Thursday, September 21st, one day until my big brother's birthday. Hey, big brother. That sounded weird. We have his bonfire on Saturday. I'm excited about that. Tonight, we do have dinner plans with our friends Kevin and Holly. Restaurant called Asparagus. I haven't been to Asparagus in many years because it's way over in Maryville. That's like 2 towns over. And Valparaiso has so many fine dining experiences. I rarely have to leave town, but looking forward to that tonight. I always have great conversations with Kevin and Holly. But let's go through these option trades that are expiring this week because a number of them are way down in the whiskey, as my friend Alan Jackson would say. Play that song, but only play it if you're looking to shed a tear. Alan Jackson, one of my favorites of all time from the country music genre. We like to hang out at his bar AJ's on Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee. If you ever get a chance, go there. And go to the Legends Bar, go to the Stage, all those good places there. If you like country music and drinking beer, Apple Puts doing good. Still hanging in there with the Apple. AMD, though, downtown to Chinatown. Last I checked, they were still over 96, but yeah, they've gone up a bit since I looked. They're at 96 currently, but they are down 3.36%. So yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, the AMD puts were just sailing along. But today's a little different, isn't it? Yesterday, or beginning towards the end of the day yesterday, and obviously through today, the market has been saying, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that September thing where we go downtown. So those are in rough shape. This Arista Networks was looking like such a fine little move. I bought for $182.50, sold the calls, collected like $255 bills, and then they went up to like $185. Well, guess what? Today they're down, hemorrhaging at $178.77. So that is not looking so good for me, but what we'll have to do is we'll just have to manage our way through it because we'll just continue to sell calls, collect premium, lower our cost basis when we're applying that premium towards what we paid for the asset, because we paid $18,250, but we've already taken $255 off of that cost basis, haven't we, from the call collection, the premium we've collected so far. So that is one of the main reasons I've fallen in love with the options, is that I can have a trade go against me and still over time I've been building my castle of love just for two. Little Stevie Wonder. There goes that musical Tourette's. So these trades can go against you, and then over time, if you stay patient and not panic and just freak out, you can manufacture the win, as TJ the Wheel Deal describes it, and he's exactly right. So we'll be looking to do a lot of that coming up, because I will take possession of AMD at 96. Just think about it. A minute ago, they were at 105. They were even at 110. They were even at 118. Think about owning the asset at $96 bills when those times are happening, and over time. And again, it could continue to go down through, it can go down to $80. But over time, I believe AMD is, $150, $200 over the next few years, because where is the future? We know where it's at. Yep, it's technology. This AI thing does have a little bubblicious to it, but it is legitimate. Just think about the companies that are already making it happen, like Palantir and NVIDIA. So it's going nowhere. Hey, look, we're already gaining some money. We're only down 15,000 and change now. Bank of America doing good. CF Industries doing really good. CRISPR calls, of course, the call side of things should be doing great on most of these trades, but it's the put side that has our butts stinking. So if you look this, we're down 333% on the CRISPR, currently at 45.83. And I was mentally going through these earlier thinking I might take possession of a number of these that I do enjoy or would enjoy owning. We already own some CRISPR at 47.50, so I was thinking I'll take more at 47, but it's hard to stomach when it's trading at 45.86. But then you say, hey, stomach, we could turn around and trade calls and make more annualized return than if we tried to roll out and down, or even just roll down. I mean, just roll out. So like, for instance, if we just tried to roll this position out, right? Roll in. There's 3 contracts. We have to cover a 128 debit per share. If you go out 1 week and you can roll it at the same number, right? And collect dollar bills. So let's do math though. It's a $156 credit. And you've got 4,700 times 3. So that's the collateral, right? Write that down. 14,100. So we would collect $156 divided by 14,100 divided by the 7 days that we would change the trade, right there, net 7-day trade, right? Divided by 7 multiplied by 365. Wait, that can't be right. You and your math, 159. Okay, let's take that current credit. Hey, it just went down to 84, 105. Oh, making my butt stink again. So let's just say that it's changing a lot. What's the number we're going to use, Bart? Let's just use the 135 that's there, even though it seems to be going up. Divided by the 14,100, right? Divide it by the number of days in the trade. Yeah, that seems like 50% return. Why is that not computing in my head? I don't know why it is not computing in my head. So at that number, we would definitely roll it. Yes, we would. We would roll that at that number, but in my head, I don't know why that's not computing. It is not computing. Let's do the math on the 150, 14,100, right? Divided by 7, multiplied by 365. All right, so we're still in the game on rolling that because I was thinking, well, I could just take possession at 47. And then if you looked at all of our positions, so we have 100 shares at 47.50, okay? So we'd have 4,700 times 3. So there's our 14,100. Then we would add 47.50 is what we paid for the original 100 shares. So that'd be our total money in, right? Then we would divide it by the number of shares we have, which is 400. Our cost basis would be at 47,125. So if we played it aggressive at selling covered calls, and you wouldn't normally sell a covered call on a day like today where it's down, but this will give you a almost worst case scenario of what kind of action you can collect on the call side at a $47 strike. So it'd be 60, right? So it would be 60 on 47. So let's run that number. 0.6 divided by 47 divided by 7 multiplied by 365. So on the call side, we would collect more dollar bills as far as our annualized return, 66.5% compared to that 50% we are looking at. But we have less risk if we rolled it because we can always roll it without taking possession. Are you even confusing yourself? Just a little, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to own CRISPR. If we rolled puts, we don't add to our share count. But we could roll it, wait for it to come back up, and then decide if we want to continue to, or if we want to add shares at that price or not, or just keep rolling. So right now we're at 45.78. but it shows like on a trade like CRISPR, because of high volatility, you can work your way out of bad positions if you are patient and you use your abacus. So that's the only reason I could still laugh, because laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. If you know what movie that's from, leave it in the comments below, and you're probably pretty cool and likely around my age. Canadian Solar 28 calls looking good. However, $26 puts under pressure. Where are we at there? 26.13. So they're way under pressure. It is way under pressure. Do we even own any Canadian Solar? I don't think we do. Oh, we do. We have 200 shares at 26.19. So just above the current price there. So would we take more at 26? Yeah, we probably would. Not huge on solar right now, like Enphase and Canadian. The biggest concern I've had in looking at those stocks, of course, is the interest rate, because the homeowners or the individuals that get involved in the solar for their houses, the vast majority of them finance the solar panels because it's easy selling when you could do the math. Like, here's what you pay, $20,000 for these panels. And then in 10 years, though, they've paid for themselves in your reduction of your electric bill at home. But when interest rates go up to 7, 8, 9% on the financing of these solar panels, because you're always going to pay a higher rate than you would on a mortgage because of the risk of these solar panels, then it becomes less sellable, or the old I'll wait until rates go down, because that's what we've sold ourselves. And that's what I'm dealing with on our real estate brokerage side right now. You have homeowners essentially trapped in their 3% mortgages, which is fine. I mean, who doesn't want a 3% mortgage right now? But if they were going to sell and then trade up, which is what most Americans do these days, it's very hard to justify going from a 3% mortgage on your $300,000 house up to a 7.5% mortgage on your $500,000 house. So I'll just wait for those rates to come down. Well, when's that going to be? I don't know. Okay, so we'll be watching those Canadian Solars. Double Dog Dare You. We're deep down. We're way down on our whiskey on Double Dog Dare You, Datadog. But when you think about over time, Datadog essentially helps you. If you're a company and you've got a stack of software programs and you are trying to organize those, you're trying to protect those, because that's becoming a bigger and bigger thing. Datadog helps with those services. And what are we going to be looking at more and more of as we go? More and more data, right? More and more data being collected, being stored, being protected. So where's Datadog at today? I don't know, $89, $88.60. And are you willing to pay $96? I don't know. We'll have to take a closer look at that. But do I think it's worth more than $96 over time? I do. That's how I'm able to stomach all the blood in the streets on my current trades, is the big picture, because I don't have a company on here that I wouldn't want to own long term or has a big rosy picture. Like, for instance, these Devon 4850 puts, those things are underwater. And I was just buying shares last week for $50.46. So when you see them at $46.69, you're like, oh my God, hit the panic button. And I don't think that's the right move, because, just on a simple scenario like Devon Energy, couple of things to keep in mind. One, they pay a dividend. Not only do they pay a fixed dividend, they pay a special dividend, right? So if you go to Devon Energy up here, you even have it pulled up, Bart, because of course I was looking at it and I was doing the math thinking, even if I take those at 48.50, which I think I will, which on paper doesn't make sense when they're trading in the 46s, over time, it makes perfect sense, because, the dividends that I'm about to enjoy is 29 cents a share on the special called the Other here on Seeking Alpha, 20 cents on the fixed, okay, 49 cents a share. I've got 1,600 shares. I'm going to add 500 more if I do nothing with that trade and lower my cost basis, because that's like over $52 a share right now. But then if you put a blindfold on and say, I don't even remember what I paid per share, but I do know what my total investment is, what are my returns? then you start calculating those. And I was running all those numbers that even on a worst case scenario basis, I could sell covered calls, right? Essentially every week if I wanted to, collect dollar bills, and collect 49 cents a share per quarter. And that is essentially worst case scenario, because this special here at 29 cents was the adjustment made after the second quarter. Now, what went on with the second quarter is they were feeling the effects from the super low natural gas prices, because they're involved in natural gas and oil. And oil in the $60, $60, $65, $68 a barrel range during the second quarter. Well, what's oil at now? It's trading in the 90s, and natural gas has made a recovery. So what does that mean for Devon Energy? As a shareholder, that means, where was that article I had up earlier? Is it right here? Yep. It means I'm going to be putting a lot more money into my sweet little pockets, because as this says, and it's going to be true, where's the headline? It's up there somewhere. Rising oil prices could mean big dividend increases for Devon Energy shareholders. That is true, because what Devon Energy decided to do, if we go back to the big picture, they said their board made a decision and traded. They said, you know what, let's pay off some debt, but let's also return 50% of our net profits back to the shareholders. Because if you look at their back in the day, it was 6 cents a share, regular dividend. Then they're like, hey, let's go up to 8 cents. And then they went to 9, but see, they were still just regular. Then they traded. The board said, let's spend more money, or let's return more money to the shareholder. So they went from 9 cents on the regular to 11 cents on the fixed, but then they started putting the special in. There's an extra 26 cents a share, everyone. And then there's an extra 19 cents plus our 11 cents fixed rate. 23 cents, 38 cents, 73 cents, all the way up to a $1.37 a share, plus the fixed rate of 18 cents here. Well, since then, they've raised the fixed to 20, but they had to lower the special to 29 because revenues took it on the chin in the second quarter. Well, revenues are going to go through the roof in the third quarter. Do I know that for sure? No. But when I shake up the magic 8 ball and I ask them, will I be collecting more dollar bills from Devon Energy going forward? The magic 8 ball said, most definitely, sir. So you really are losing your mind. But this is how I entertain myself, by thinking through all of my positions on what can go on. What are the worst case scenarios? Do I want to buy 500 shares of Devon Energy at $48.50 when they're trading at $46.69? No, but I agreed to do so when I put this trade on, right? And I collected how much money? $145. So I already have $145 of that in my pocket. I'll take them on, add them to my bankroll. I'll go from 1,600 shares to 2,100 shares. Next green day, I trade covered calls. I don't even have to wait for the next green day. I could still trade conservative covered calls, collect dollar bills, and then wait for all the dividends to roll in. That's what's on my mind. But let's go through these trades, because I'm already getting long in the tooth on this video. Boring you, probably. In phase 115 puts, good. $60 calls on Coke, good. Netflix, $400 put, making my butt stink. We'll decide what we want to do, because I already looked at that and I said, if it doesn't continue to go down, like where's it at now? 388. Earlier, it was down as low as 385. So if Netflix begins to stabilize, then it makes sense to possibly take it at 400 and begin to sell covered calls if we like the company Netflix. Do I like Netflix? I do. Netflix reminds me of Tesla in this way. Netflix is already making a bunch of dough, right? Tesla is already making a bunch of dough. All the other companies in the EV space are still losing a bunch of dough. All the other companies, such as Disney, if you just look at Disney's streaming, what do? They lose money. What does Paramount streaming do? Paramount Plus lose money. They lose money, but Netflix makes money, so they know how to do it, and they can adjust things to make even more dollar bills. For instance, they could spend less money on original content, because they got wild there for a while. And they can wait for companies like Disney to come begging back to them and say, would it be okay if we sold you our content again and you put it on your Netflix? And Netflix is like, fine, but here's the terms. And then Disney's like, something's better than nothing. Those are my wild thoughts that go through my mind. On Semiconductor call, doing really good. We're still hanging in there. Where are we at on Semiconductor? Everything seems to be red. Oh, look, they're only down a 1.27, but we're at 91.66. So I'm under pressure. So we'll keep an eye on that. Will we take more shares at 91? You bet your bippy. You bet your bippy. And all of these will likely continue to go down if the trend for September keeps going. Will I have the stomach to take on more of these shares at what continues to be lower and lower prices? I don't know. We'll find out. I think I do. Pepsi calls good. That's because Pepsi's down. Pfizer calls good. That's because Pfizer's down. Pinterest, though, puts doing good because Pinterest had a nice little bounce. Palantir, $15 puts, downtown to Chinatown. I even saw Palantir down in the 13s at some point today. Where are they at now? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the big board. Where are you at? Where are you at, Palantir? We're right here, Bart. We're at 1421. So I saw it as low as I think like 1395 today. So $15 puts under pressure. Riot even under pressure. I thought, safe as the day is long yesterday, and now they're under pressure. 950 puts, and they're trading at 972, and it was even under the 950 earlier today. So they've made a little bit of a rebound. Let me go to the big board to check out what's up in general. So we've got NASDAQ down. It's under 1% now. It was at close to 1.5%. So we've had a nice little rally. Had found some support there. Keep it going. So all these under pressure. $95 puts on Starbucks. Where are we at? 94 and change? 94.02 on the Starbs. We would take Starbucks at 95. I would. I'd collect premium selling covered calls. I'll collect dividends, and I'll wait for the shares to go up and collect some appreciation. Target, $50 puts, putting it on me, down over 1,000%. Target, or AT&T, the old teabag, turning the tables on me. It's at 1538, so we'll have to roll. We're not prepared to relinquish those shares yet. Still like that bond-like dividend that they're paying. And Unity put, where were we? Yeah. Target calls, doing great. Unity put, doing bad. United Health calls. Whoa, why is that showing downtown to Chinatown? Whoa, hold on, hold everything. What did I miss on United Health? Did I miss anything other than it's rebounding back to what I thought? I thought it'd go to 500. I just didn't realize it'd be this week. Hello. Any news I need to know about? We'll look at that on my own time. How about that, Bart? Sure. So we'll roll that out and try to collect some more dollar bills, or we can let it go. We can let it go, bill our or book our profits because we got in at 476.94. That's one of those swing ding trades. We've already collected a dividend, right? Or we at least have one pending. Where are you at? There's our dividend. We've collected that, collected this covered roll, collected that call. So we're in the money, but can we keep letting the winners run? One of the things, if the tech continues to sell off, one of the things I've noticed already this year is then companies like McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, United Health, UPS, all those old faithfuls then begin to collect some more investment from the people that are booking profits on things like NVIDIA, etc. What do we got to do here? So we've got, these are looking good a minute ago, and that's because the VIX suddenly is higher, right? So those are good. Verizon calls are good. Win puts are bad. Where are they at? Hopefully not in the 93s. How about 9120, chump face? So laughter through tears again. That's my favorite emotion. So we'll manage through that, whether we take those or not. I like when at 95, maybe not today when it's trading at 91, but I like it big picture at 95. I like it 100. I like it 105. Are people going to stop gambling, stop going to Vegas? They're not. So that's that. We were on quite a roll with puts, and then we're getting steamrolled today. That's just part of the risk of making these trades. I'm comfortable with that. Again, what do I get in return? I don't lose money. Yeah, paper, I'm losing big time. Down almost 14,000 a day. A minute ago when we started this video, I was down $16,500. Paper, that's paper mache. And I get shares, though, in return. Shares in quality companies like AMD, which likely will be one day worth 200 plus, right? Let's just look at something crazy like this. Let's put in AMD. Let's see what I already had in here. So look, first we'll look at CRISPR because it's already dialed up. CRISPR, what's the average forecast? 87.72. So will you take shares at 47? Sure. If you're telling me one day it's at 87, or what if it's at 231 when CRISPR does inevitably make a huge breakthrough? Because they will. They're splicing them genes up, making us like RoboCop. That's going to happen, in my honest and accurate opinion. But let's also look at so quickly I lose my train of thought. What were we just looking at? AMD. Let's punch AMD into alpha spread and then go to analysts and see what these analysts who know way more than I do, what are their predictions? Wall Street estimates. Yeah, I know. They're just estimates. Sometimes it's like throwing darts, throwing mud at the wall, slinging things around. Look, there it is. AMD 210. Will it be 210? I have no idea, but I'd say yes. Of course I would. I'm going to be an investor soon. I'll probably take those shares at 96 unless I can get paid to just roll that put. And I don't have to take ownership of those shares. But would I like to own a company like AMD in this environment where technology is the future and it's been the past, right? Did we miss the last round in the of the early Amazons and Apples and Microsofts? I did. You may not have. I did. But what's the next? What is the next revolution? I think it's here right now. I really do. And I think AMD is in on that. NVIDIA is in on that. Tesla's in on that. All of those companies that and Palantir is in on that. All of them in on this, man. Datadog in on it. Oracle still in. Canadian Solar. Do you think solar is has a brighter future than dirty oil? I do. Although dirty oil is not going anywhere anytime soon, so I still have a bunch of money in it. Long story short, I'm here and I'm way down in my options. Am I worried about going broke? When I look at these crazy trades on the board, we'll figure them out. We will figure them out. We'll do it together. Thanks for tuning in on this long video. We'll be keeping you posted going through Expiration Friday tomorrow. Until then, subscribe, like, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I'll see you in the next video.